If you brag about running on 5 hours of sleep and quietly cringe every time someone asks about your bank account, this video was made exactly for you. Because if that's you, you're just like Marcus, the guy I'm fixing today. Marcus sleeps like garbage because some podcast told him it was the secret to being more productive. Let me be straight with you right now. Chronic sleep deprivation leaves anyone exhausted, unfocused, and nowhere near producing the kind of work that actually builds wealth. The worst part? People living like this rarely admit that jumping out of bed earlier than their body is ready is exactly what's chasing money out of their life. But before you say that's obvious, you need to understand the science behind the equation less sleep equals less money. I'm going to break it all down in the next few minutes. My name is Mr. Wealth Fixer, and today I'm going to walk you through exactly what I did to turn Marcus into an entrepreneur who increased his sleep hours at the same rate he increased his bank balance. And at the end, I'll hand you a protocol you can run tonight to start sleeping better. Better sleep means sharper focus. Sharper focus means you actually do what needs to get done to make more money. This isn't a hunch. This is how your body works, backed by neuroscience. Let's get into it. The patient. Let me properly introduce today's patient. Marcus is 34 years old, an entrepreneur, or at least that's what his LinkedIn says. His routine? 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, and 12 hours working. And you're about to find out that those 12 hours of work live mostly in his head rather than in anything he actually executes. And at the end of the month, his bank account hasn't moved an inch. Marcus wakes up at 5 a.m. every single day, not because he's productive, but because he read in some book that successful men wake up early. He goes to bed at 2 a.m. because he still had things to do. Marcus has been building a company that's going nowhere for 2 years straight. He works harder than anyone he knows, and he earns less than most of them. He's got a notebook full of ideas, a Notion workspace full of systems that never worked, a mastermind group chat that produces nothing but long voice memos and zero results. The mistake of thinking that sleeping less is the path to success is costing Marcus more money than any bad business decision he's ever made. Marcus didn't come to me because he wanted to. His friends told him he needed help. When I walked into Marcus's life, he was proud. I don't need much sleep, I'm disciplined. According to him, he only reached out to prove that his theories and habits around sleep deprivation were right. Since that kind of denial is standard with everyone I work with, I jumped straight into the diagnosis without wasting time on his attitude. One look at him and the pattern was obvious. Dark circles down to his chin, slow responses, short fuse, zero creativity. Classic profile of someone who's coasting more than living, dragging more than producing, bleeding money more than making it. He told me he'd made 3 major decisions in the last 6 months. All of them wrong. A vendor who broke a contract that he hadn't read the fine print on, a business partner he brought on without due diligence because the guy seemed solid, a paid ads campaign he approved without checking the numbers because he was too busy. Total estimated loss? $47,000. He said it was just bad luck and that he'd bounce back fast because he was disciplined. I pushed back. If you keep sleeping 5 hours a night, you're going to keep running like a zombie, and the only thing you'll be disciplined at is racking up more financial losses. He didn't like that, gave me the face of a spoiled kid, and had the nerve to tell me I was wrong. The confrontation. I didn't hold back. Marcus, you're not a workaholic. You're a zombie with a Google Calendar. He didn't like it. They never do. But let's talk data, because I'm Mr. Wealth Fixer, and I don't work with opinions, I work with audits. The University of Pennsylvania ran a clinical study where participants slept 6 hours a night for 2 weeks straight. Cognitive performance was tested every day. The result, after 10 days on 6 hours of sleep, their performance was equivalent to someone who had been awake for 24 hours straight, completely wrecked. And here's the part that'll mess you up. They didn't notice. They thought they were fine. They thought they were performing. That's Marcus, and honestly, that's probably you. A sleep-deprived brain has the processing power of a 2003 computer trying to run 2026 software. It freezes, forgets, crashes, and still thinks it's running normally. "But I adapted. My body got used to it," he said. No, your body stopped complaining. That's not adaptation, that's cellular surrender. That's your nervous system waving the white flag because it's got no energy left to send the warning signal. Matthew Walker, the world's leading sleep researcher, is blunt about it. There is no adaptation to sleep deprivation. What exists is the loss of the ability to perceive your own incompetence. In business terms, you became incompetent and lost the ability to realize you did. Now let's turn this into dollars, because numbers are the only language the ego can't spin. Looking at the data Marcus gave me, it was clear. In the months when exhaustion caught up with him and he slept at least 7 hours most nights, he pulled in $25,000. In the months of severe sleep deprivation, revenue dropped to $19,000, a difference of $6,000 a month. Over 6 months, $36,000 left on the table. Add the $47,000 in bad decisions made with a zombie brain. Total cost of Marcus's discipline, $83,000 in just a few months. He was sleeping less to earn more, and he lost $83,000 because he slept less. That's not hustle culture, that's expensive stupidity. You know what he said after I shoved the numbers in his face? "But the big entrepreneurs sleep less." Once again, I had to let the data do the talking. Jeff Bezos sleeps 8 hours and talks about it publicly. Warren Buffett sleeps 8 hours. Roger Federer slept 12 hours before competing. LeBron James sleeps between 10 and 12 hours and has a dedicated sleep specialist on his team. These men don't sleep less to produce more. They sleep more so that every hour they're awake is worth a fortune. The hustle culture you consume on Instagram is created by people selling productivity courses. The product is you, exhausted, desperate, and ready to buy the next method. You're the customer, not the blueprint. The protocol. All right, enough diagnosis. Time to fix this. What I build with Marcus is what I call the sleep equity protocol. Because sleep isn't rest, it's an investment. And like any investment, it has contribution rules, time windows, and return on capital. Step 1, the minimum viable investment. 7 hours. That's your non-negotiable minimum buy-in. Not 6, not 5.5, 7. Anything below that and you're running in cognitive deficit every single day. Set a fixed bedtime before you set a wake-up time. You don't build wealth by deciding when to withdraw. You build it by deciding when to deposit. I had Marcus lock in consistent sleep and wake-up times because that trains your body to actually deliver restorative sleep. Step 2, the deceleration window. 90 minutes before bed, your brain needs to shift out of CEO mode and into maintenance mode. No blue light screens, no TV in the bedroom, no emails, no big decisions. This is when your system consolidates memory, processes emotions, and primes your executive functions for the next day. If you skip this step and scroll straight into your pillow, you're showing up to work the next morning without having run last night's backup. It's like yanking your computer's power cord every night and wondering why it keeps running slow. Step 3, the ROI dashboard. Every Sunday, Marcus now reviews not just revenue and expenses, he reviews sleep quality for the week. The correlation is direct. Weeks averaging under 6 hours consistently produce worse business metrics. Weeks with 7 or more hours show sharper thinking in meetings, more creativity in product decisions, and better judgment calls. He stopped believing that grinding more hours was the lever. The lever is the condition of the system running the hours. Step 4, the surgical cut. I had Marcus identify what was keeping him past 11 p.m. In most cases, it came down to one of three things: mindlessly consuming low-value content, sitting with task anxiety he wasn't going to resolve at 1 a.m. anyway, or the empty habit of feeling like he hadn't done enough today. Here's the truth. You're not going to fix your finances between midnight and 2 a.m. in a state of cognitive burnout. You're going to create new problems you'll have to clean up tomorrow. Cut it. Go to sleep. That's what real discipline looks like.
The new ROI. 90 days after the audit, Marcus kept his word and sent me a message. No drama, no movie-worthy epiphany, just numbers. Quarterly revenue up 34%. One partnership decision he made well-rested saved him $82,000 in risk exposure. He got through an entire contract without rereading the same paragraph 3 times. Business meetings became more productive because he wasn't spending the whole time trying to stay awake. Before I get into more of his results, I want to invite you to check the pinned link in the first comment below. I've left some additional resources there to help you get more productive and focused so you can start improving your finances. Back to Marcus. The biggest change he described like this: I stopped feeling guilty about sleeping. And when I stopped feeling guilty about not grinding 20 hours a day, I stopped feeling guilty about not grinding 20 hours a day. And when I stopped doing that, I finally started doing real work during the hours that actually mattered.
That's the thing hustle culture will never sell you, because it doesn't profit from it. The guilt of rest is a product. Someone is making money convincing you that you don't deserve recovery. And while you keep buying that product, you're selling your performance, your health, and ultimately, your money. Sleep isn't what you do when the work is done. Sleep is what makes the work possible. If you're watching this at 2 a.m. thinking you're about to be productive, I've got news for you. You already lost that day. Close this. Go to sleep. Tomorrow you'll understand why that was the most profitable decision you made all week. Today, I fixed Marcus and his obsession with sleeping less. Now, drop a comment below about a situation that's hurting your finances and that you want my help fixing. I'll read every single one and pick a few to turn into videos right here on the channel. If this was useful to you, hit that like button and subscribe. See you in the next one.